WildRift has a game-breaking bug with Sundered Sky. After watching this video, you will understand how broken it is and what it does for you. So, currently in WildRift, Sundered Sky is an item that, for example, if you build it on ranged champions, will proc twice. So if you hit an enemy, the healing will apply twice, even though it should only apply once per target. On melee champions, also has some very interesting interaction. What does it do? For example, on Nasus, it scales your first ability. To give you some context, here's the short I made to showcase everything that's wrong with the item so far. Riot Games just completely messed up. The newly released item or hotfixed item Sundered Sky has now a game-breaking bug. Normally, the item should just heal you once if you hit an enemy every 6 seconds. However, there's a game-breaking bug. If you hit an enemy, you get double the healing. And this affects melee as well as ranged champions. So if you have champions like Aatrox who also have a passive that also heals them, you'll quickly realize that it is the most game-breaking bug we have seen in a long time. So please, Riot Games, fix this. And if you want to stay updated on everything WildRift, just follow us. Cause otherwise you probably wouldn't know that for whatever reason, your first attack, your first attack and your first ability are coded as one attack instance and therefore is scaled up by Sundered Sky. So with this in mind, suddenly Nasus' first ability doesn't only do like 500, it does like 7, 8, 900 because it suddenly crits. Now, he's playing against a Yasuo during the laning phase, and we see in the bottom left the selection of runes as well as items. Let's briefly talk about them. First off, he runs Second Wind, which is the most broken rune for top lane. You really need to have that one. He also starts with Ruby Crystal. And what is the purpose of playing Nasus? And how do you play Nasus lane? You need to be really careful and just farm in front of your tower and mitigate as much damage as possible, because in the early stage of the game, your champion isn't really a champion. Your champion becomes a champion once you have access to your ultimate ability. He's also not putting any points into the third ability because he knows he can't really trade and he just rather wants to have more stacks with a low cooldown on his first ability. You see, he's trying to protect this Hextech thing, but it's getting rather difficult. So much extra damage from the grasp by the Yasuo. At the moment we hit level 5, things are going to go insane on this champion. Oh, the bot gap is already happening. Grasp is such an annoying rune to face. Like, it's so much extra damage you take. But if there's one thing about Nasus that's really cool, it's his very plain passive. You just gain physical vamp. And now combine this with all the other things you're going for. For example, this Nasus is going for plated steel caps, which has regen. Heartsteel, even more regen. Second Wind, even more regen. And then you have the healing from his passive, thanks to physical damage dealt, as well as the Sundered Sky and the build path. So we're already at 39. Like 39 healing, for instance. 42, it's getting higher and higher. 75 stacks, nice sidestep by the man. Gank of Grace comes around the corner. This will not work though, because... oh, they're trying to counter-gank this, but yeah, Grace into Yasuo is impossible. Like, the Wind Wall just makes everything impossible, and it's just doomed to begin with. If you're playing, and you want to gank Yasuo as a Graves, and you know he still has Wind Wall, I think you should save yourself the trouble, because you will not win. Was Rammus this low HP that he didn't want to dive this? Because this should be relatively free, given that the Nasus doesn't have spells available. You should not be allowed to farm this, in my opinion. 95 stacks, little grass proc for the takeaway. So, in the beginning of the game, Nasus is relatively slow, right? Because you need some stacks to get going, you're just on survival duty. But this shifts. Like, now it will start shifting. He has Sheen, he has played his steel caps, and the moment he has ultimate, it's going to be a lot different. The only problematic thing that could occur is that the Yasuo runs away. Which should be relatively difficult, however, if there's no wave, because of the second ability Wither, which basically makes you stand still. So I'm wondering why my music isn't continuing in the background. It's kind of confusing. Let me check this one out in a second. I know, it suddenly just stops for whatever reason. Interesting. Anyway, now, what is the most dangerous part about Nasus? Like, Nasus has the, or if not the best ultimate in the game stat-wise. You gain HP, you gain resistances, and you gain cooldown on your most used damage spell. So with that in mind, oh wait, you also deal AoE damage around you, so. Nasus is really crazy when it comes to 1v1 scenarios, because look at the damage he is doing. Windwall comes out, rundown commences, and the Doge slays the annoying Wind Brother. 190 stacks at 5 minutes, I think that's more than okay. Sadly, if you lasted plants with Q, it doesn't grant you stacks, which makes no sense. It should, because it's technically a unit. But if you lasted towers with your first ability, it grants you stacks. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But I really hope they'll fix Sundered Sky. Because I don't think it's intended to work like that on ranged champions, and I don't think it should scale a key ability like Nasus Q. Similar to Draven Q, because that's just a little bit too broken. But maybe it's actually intended to be like this, but then, well, it's bad times ahead. I need to test it on Yasuo as well. Pops the ultimate in a fight here. Yasuo knows he can't win this, because look, it's simply unfair. Just bonked to death. Look, the Yasuo simply can't do enough damage to deal with the Nasus, because the Yasuo also goes for a similar approach of going for the tankier build, but the Nasus has way more sustain and way more damage. Because, like, he has, like, look, the Yasuo has Blade as well as defensive boots, so not, if I didn't look in the wrong way. And he has Grasp, where he wants to go for the tank Yasuo, and he has Blade to actually kill a Bruiser champion, and Nasus only really has health. But the issue is, the moment Nasus pops the ultimate, he gains a ton of armor, and since he already has player steel caps, it becomes even more difficult for the enemy to achieve anything against him. So, with the Sheen, which is continuously procced through his first ability on low cooldown thanks to the ultimate, lowering the cooldown by 50%, he has so much damage, and since it's all physical damage, he benefits the most, or a lot, from his passive. You see, the Yasuo is dealing a lot of damage to him, but the Nasus knows, like, even like through anti-healing, so much healing, nice knock-up combo by the Rammus going in, and then the Yasuo instantly ults on top. But you see how tanky he is. Look at this. And this is against a champion who built to kill him with Blade of the Ruined King. Like, Blade of the Ruined King is supposed to be the best in-slot item here, against the Nasus. But the issue is, during the early game, the Yasuo absolutely stomps the Nasus, right? But the moment we hit this first spike, like play Steel Caps and Sheen, then this matchup completely turns. It's similar to Teemo. Like, the moment you pick up Mercury Threats, the Teemo is just lost. You just can't win anymore. And if the Yasuo team doesn't fully capitalize on putting Nasus behind so he doesn't get too many stacks, too many items, too many levels, then the Yasuo will never be able to play again. He will always lose, there's nothing he can do anymore. And it only gets worse from this position. What I'm curious about is his choice of Trinity Force in the item selection over Divine Thunderer. Because if the enemy team has, like, I mean, to be fair, they have their squishies, but the sustain gain through Divine Thunderer should outvalue, because they have at least one big tank, should outvalue the little damage gain of Trinity Force. But Trinity Force will obviously do more and help you more for pushing towers. Because yeah, attack speed is a thing. 410 stacks at not even 9 minutes. Yoink the Krog, yoink. Another hard steel stack for the troubles. Look at the damage he does. Bonk. Absolute demolition. Lysandra is here, but Lysandra needs to be careful. She has to play for time with her ultimate ability. She really has to. He's passively stacking here. Give me my stacks. If I end up dying, give me at least my stacks. But these two can't kill them. They need assistance. And the entire squadron is coming up. Give me my hard steel. Come on, hard steel. Yes. Okay, now you can die. A few big things when you know you're about to die. First off, go through the checklist. Can you clear the wave, and is clearing the wave the right play? Like, for example, can you do something with the cleared wave? Can the enemy maybe not push a tower if you clear the wave? Or can you kill someone? Second point, do you have any item that stacks specific things as they're around you? For example, you have hard steel, and you know you will die, you can't kill anyone, but you get an opportunity presented to you that you can hit 5 people with hard steel. What do? Do you try to run even though you know you die, or do you go for 5 hard steel procs? Because 5 hard steel procs will be more value than dying in gold. Because let's say you get 40 per hit. That is 200 health because it's 40 times 5. 200 health is purchased with more than 500 gold. Because 500 gold is 150 health. And therefore, even though you died, you still generated value in gold. And this is something you have to always keep in mind when it comes to just playing, because there's so many things you can do that still generate you gold. And the same applies to clearing jungle camps, or sometimes killing people. Like, look, he's just toying with them. And the last hit with the bonk. Look at the amount of hard steel stacks he has. That is close to 1,000 gold extra value. So the item, like, this is the problem in WildRift with the item. It is simply too good. For the pace of the game and for how it's played, the item is too good. You get too many stacks for free. And the Karma can never kill him. Like, he needs assistance. Ignite being popped. Flash as well against Ghost. We are running for better days. And he dies because we have the Infinity Orb Karma. Critting with the first ability. Let me skip this because the downtime is relatively high. Okay. So we have Sundered Sky in the inventory. So we have 485 damage on Q. So the Q number should not be higher than, I think, 600, right? Let's see what happens if we crit someone. 664 crit. Which makes no sense. 911. So if a champion has close to 100 armor, it's roughly 50% damage mitigation, right? Now, with 50% damage mitigation, if you hit him with 700, the number before mitigation would be 1400. So the question is, does Nasus have so much damage that his Q does 1400 damage pre-mitigation? No, he doesn't. Therefore, the Sundered Sky scales not only the auto attack, but also the Q stacks. For some reason, which doesn't make sense. Because if you look at this, Nasus should at best have... like, you see the auto attack? The non-empowered auto attack was 150. This Q is 1083 against 0 armor. So you can see that it's like, just by watching these numbers, you see that for some reason your Q scales with Sundered Sky. And yeah, Yasuo against Graves, it's pain. I told you earlier, Graves can't play. Windwall is too broken. You have to one-shot the Yasuo before you can place it on Windwall, or have Windwall on cooldown, otherwise it's only pain. And from what I've been told, apparently, Nasus E and Armor Pen do not stack multiplicatively, but additively. So you also reach some interesting Armor Pen numbers. And he's just running them down. Now the Ezreal makes his appearance. Rammus is chasing after him, walks into the minion wave, gets CC'd there. Now we have a big problem, we don't have ultimate. Nice arrow by the Ashe here, turns around onto the Karma. Big bomber chunk onto the enemy here, trying to chase down, has to focus on the next possible target. Alternatively, what he can do is, he can just completely stop hitting the Rammus, because the Rammus has anti-healing, if nobody else has anti-healing. And then as he's walking towards the Ezreal, he can utilize his leech or his lifesteal on the minions, because you see he heals for a big amount when he hits minions, like 300 per Q. So if there's nothing to do and he wants to have the maximum healing while he believes he can't kill the Rammus while he's going towards the Ezreal, he can use his downtime as he's trying to reach to gain at least some health back by last hitting these minions, or hitting these minions, if he knows he can still reach, that is. $857 stacks. So things I haven't tested, I didn't test if it scales Titanic Hydra. If Sundered Sky scales Titanic Hydra. Because if it does, it's going to be absolutely obscene. What I know now is Sundered Sky doesn't scale Duskblade, it also doesn't scale Trinity Force. But you just have to take a look at the numbers. We have 1247 on no mitigation. So I'm curious to see the next crit he has on a different champion. Because keep in mind, his Q shouldn't crit, but it does. The stacking is still commencing. Ashe arrow flying in. Hits the Karma again. Will the Nasus reach in time? Has Ghost available? Pops the Ghost here. Rammus is not even intervening instantly. QSS being popped. Nasus is being put on a leash by the Karma. Turns around, one-shots the Karma. Yeah. It is, like, there's no way your Q does 1700 damage. That is obscene. So the question is, I honestly don't know what to do when there's so many bugged interactions for a tier list. Because I have released a tier list, but it's not based on bugs. And I don't know if it's supposed to be a feature or a bug, because the healing feature or the healing bug is still in the game after 3 days. Bonk, he has 125 armor, including plated steel caps. And he just deals so much damage to him. Excuse me? Is Nasus now, if he survives lane, one of the most broken champions in the game? Because I don't know how to, like, let's assume this isn't a bug, okay? Let's assume the double healing properties for ranged champions, and like the double healing proc, and the sometimes double healing proc for melee champions isn't a bug. Then you have him scaling his Q damage as well, is also not a bug. But then this item is the most broken item in the game, and it's not even close. So how does it even make sense? Looking at the backline here, slowing down the Karma with the connects, one-shotting the Lissandra. Ezreal trying to run away. He just one-shot. Yeah. That is a tiny bit of damage, if I may say so. And he doesn't even have a lot of AD, because look, he doesn't have Titanic converting all the HP into AD. And he just has these items he has. It's crazy. And yeah. Is there more at the end? What do we have here? We have some clips. Okay, we have some clips. $1,085 crit on plated steel caps Yasuo. Uh-huh. That doesn't sound right, does it? What a banger skin though. El Doge. This is also a Sundered Sky. Bonk. Double the bonk. Yeah. Why does it show, like, this looks so weird, because look, it shows a crit here, but it also doesn't make sense for it to just be the auto attack crit. Bonk? It's just too much damage. Yeah, Timo, you just probably get one shot. Yep. One shot. Oh, nearly. That's such crazy amounts of damage. 1105. Oh, we don't see the stack count nor the items here, but we know he doesn't have Triforce because he's going for Gauntlet. El Nasus, if scaled, is such a funny champion. It's such a funny champion if you get out of laning phase and start bonking people on cooldown. It's such an enjoyable experience. Yasu thinks he can win. Big mistake. Does he win this? El Bonk? Big Bonk? $980. So hold up, let us look again, okay? So it's like 353 plus 200. And how much does he do earlier? 980, okay? So 980 damage with a Q. And now look at the second Q after. It's 353 and 200 damage he takes, I think? What is this absurd damage increase? Just kills him. Yeah, this is very broken. And yeah, currently it's core in every 88 carry as well, because of the bug, by the way. Should I put the bug at the beginning of the video? So people know exactly. I think I'll just do a little, like, this is bugged, by the way. Okay, I think I'll do this. Okay, the builds, all of them feature obviously Sundered Sky. What is this abomination of a build? Crazy stuff. But yeah, they all should feature Sundered Sky. Damn. Good video, very good video. Thank you for making this possible, and if you want to check them out, it's in the link in the description below. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and comment to boost the algorithm, and we'll see each other for more content very soon. Take care.